Coming up on Mountain News at 5:30, the cause of a fire in Somerset that destroyed several classrooms and offices at a church is still unknown.
And are TikTok and other social media apps doing damage to teens' mental health? How one state is legislating when and where kids use social media.
Plus, the stormy skies still look possible as we head through tonight. Tracking the very latest coming up as Mountain News at 5:30 starts now.
Dedicated to Southern and Eastern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 5:30.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley.
And I'm Olivia Calfee. A Southern Kentucky congregation will be working to rebuild part of their church building after a major fire yesterday.
That fire swept through part of the Cornerstone Baptist Church in Somerset. Many offices and classrooms were destroyed, but the sanctuary was spared.
WYMT's Phil Pendleton has more on the investigation and what the church body plans to do now.
There is loss here, but there is also thankfulness. First, that no one was here when the fire began raging through the three-story structure.
Yeah, typically on Thursdays we've got a homeschool group that uses the building, and you know, there's anywhere from 150, 200 people here sometimes, and so yesterday was their off day.
While the classroom and office section is likely a total loss, the sanctuary was spared thanks to a firewall.
From what we see right now, it looks like the sanctuary is going to be salvageable, just a lot of water and smoke damage, and so we're hoping to be able to fairly soon get back in that area.
The fire comes with Easter quickly approaching. Pastor Taylor says their community is offering to help.
Feeling bad for our congregation, trying to support and be there for them, and just get our minds wrapped around everything that's taking place.
Somerset's fire chief tells me that they had a lot of issues, a lot of challenges to face with this fire, but it was a big job for 75 some firefighters and multiple departments that were called in here to battle this fire. There were some firefighters inside the church. They had to quickly get out when the roof came down. There's no word on what started the fire, but officials believe it'll likely be ruled accidental. They believe they've pinpointed where in the building it started. While the building is damaged, the people will press on.
You know, the people is what makes up the church. There's a lot of sentimental things, memories and stuff in the building itself that everybody has, but at the end of the day, it's the people, and we'll be stronger when we come through on the other side.
Fire chief says no one was injured fighting the fire. In Pulaski County, Phil Pendleton, WYMT Mountain News.
The fire and the response itself Thursday caused some major traffic issues, and part of Somerset's electric service was cut off during the fire.
Still watching the possibility for showers and storms as we head through the region tonight. Already seeing showers in parts of the region. Places like Estill, Powell, Menifee, Morgan, Elliott County seeing a few showers. It's not heavy rain, but it is steady rain. And we have to continue to watch this as it pushes further off to the south and to the east. You see all the rain behind it. We're not done yet, and even some thunderstorms across portions of West Kentucky. Temperatures, they haven't made the mark. We'll be honest with you. We thought mid-70s today, but that stationary boundary has moved further to the south. We're only barely reaching the upper 60s to near 70 in our southern communities. Moorhead isn't even at 260 right now. They're at 59. Temperatures remain mild in our far southern communities. Your forecast first through the next 12 hours. Scattered showers and thunderstorms with us tonight, and a couple of those could be on the strong side as we fall back into the 60s and really boost those wind gusts out there as we head toward the morning. Guys, I'll have the very latest details on when we see the potential for wind gusts up towards of 40 miles per hour in a few minutes.
All right, Evan, thank you. A series of attacks on American forces in Syria is ratcheting up the tension in that region, but it could also ratchet up tensions between the U.S. and Iran. CBS's Nicole Skanga has more from the White House.
The Pentagon says the president ordered 2 F-15 airstrikes on terrorist groups in Syria. Video shows the aftermath of the attack, which hit 2 different facilities.
The facilities were located near Dar Zur in eastern Syria, and we're continuing to assess the outcome of the strikes Initial indications are that the facilities were destroyed.
The move was in retaliation for a drone strike Thursday that killed a U.S. contractor and wounded 5 American service members. CBS News has learned the air defense system at the base was not fully operational at the time of the drone strike.
My understanding is that there was a complete site picture in terms of radar. All that said, as is the case in any type of attack, U.S. Central Command will conduct a review to assess what happened.
A second attack Friday involved lots of rockets, but no American casualties. American officials say the Syrian groups that carried out the attack were affiliated with Iran's Revolutionary Guard, and the drone used in the attack was made in Iran.
We certainly don't seek a war or a conflict with Iran. That's not the goal. We're there to go after ISIS, but we have to do what we have to do to protect our people and our facilities, and that's the decision-making that the president made last night.
The U.S. Central Command, which oversees military operations in the area, said, "We are postured for scalable options in the face of any additional Iranian attacks." Syria remains locked in a civil war which has been going on for the last 12 years. Iran is one of the few countries supporting the Syrian government. Nicole Skanga, CBS News, the White House.
Russia is Syria's biggest ally. Syrian President Bashar al-Assad just wrapped up a trip to Moscow last week where he met with Russian President Vladimir Putin.
A new report found there were nearly 3,700 anti-Semitic incidents in the U.S. last year. That's the most since the Anti-Defamation League began recording them in 1979. The ADL's report shows incidents include assault, vandalism, and harassment. In 2022, there was also a 69% increase in attacks against visibly identifiable Orthodox Jews. FBI hate crimes figures reveal American Jews are disproportionately affected by hate crimes compared to other religious groups.
An attorney for former President Donald Trump volunteered to testify before a grand jury investigating classified documents found at Mar-a-Lago. Timothy Parlator said yesterday that he testified for several hours back in December 2022 about additional searches for classified documents at Trump properties. He was not subpoenaed to appear. He says he chose to do so in order to explain how the Trump team complied with the subpoenas and how there was no obstruction.
The U.S. House passed a GOP education bill that aims to increase parental rights in the classroom. The Parents' Bill of Rights Act would require schools to provide parents with a list of books and reading materials available in the school library. It also states that elementary and middle schools that receive federal funding must get permission from parents before changing a minor child's gender markers, pronouns, or preferred name on any school form, or allowing a child to change the child's sex-based accommodations, including locker rooms or bathrooms. Congressman Hal Rogers voted for the measure. It now goes to the Senate.
A movement to limit teenagers' use of social media is gathering momentum. Utah's new law will require a parent's permission for children under 18 to sign up for certain sites.
As CBS's Michael George reports, other states are poised to follow suit.
Utah is the first state to limit teenagers' access to social media, with a new law requiring parental consent for platforms such as Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok.
As leaders and as parents, we have a responsibility to protect our young people.
Several other states have similar bills in the works, including Ohio and Arkansas.
Cyberbullies, inappropriate material, adults who prey on children, they're all accessible on these platforms just a simple click away.
In New York, parents see the possible harm from social media, but stopped short of wanting it banned.
It's like playing sports. I mean, it can be dangerous, but it can be also very helpful.
I don't think we should be banning it. I think we need to be educating and showing that there are some really good sides.
Clinical psychologist Jacqueline Sperling agrees that educating children about social media is more important than limiting their use.
Research has shown it's not the amount of time necessarily per se that one spends on the app. It's really about the types of use. And I think that's really where I think the education can be really powerful.
The movement to limit social media comes as TikTok faces threats of a ban in the U.S. On Thursday, lawmakers grilled the app's CEO about harm to children.
Mr. Chu, your algorithms have prioritized providing harmful content directly to children, like self-harm challenges and even suicide.
Utah's new law takes effect next March and includes a curfew banning minors from using social media accounts after 10:30 at night. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
That curfew can be adjusted by parents, but the default setting blocks access from 10:30 p.m. to 6:30 a.m.
Twitter is getting rid of its legacy blue badges next month. Starting April 1st, the social networking site says it will remove all of the verified checkmark statuses that were on the site before Elon Musk took over. They say people and businesses who want to keep their checkmarks will have to subscribe to a Twitter Blue or Twitter Verified Organizations plan. Neither of those plans are free. Coming up on Mountain News at 5:30, push a button and turn a bedroom into a living room. How robotic furniture is already changing the way people live.
And showers and storms headed in our direction as we head into tonight. Tracking when and who stands the best chance at some strong storms right after this.